This level of the blockage and quarantine is what is referred to as the 666 seal and is a genetic block in the 6th dimensional frequency layers residing within the 6D indigo ray and 7D violet ray monad or oversoul bodies and crown chakra, which is referred to as our wings. At the beginning of monadic level integration, this 666 implant or Templar seal can be removed from the human light body. Essentially, this relates to the trauma of having our wings cut off from our light body and is related to the curse of Yahweh. This fact is what created many of the fallen angelics and the watchers trapped in the earth. Eye of Yahweh. All intermediary lenses of mind control, Eye of Yahweh, Eye of Jehovah, Eye of Horus and other religious control mechanisms requiring salvation or redemption, must be broken away in order to see the cosmic cube matrix divine mind of one God. This all-seeing eye of God is coming to reside as the living presence in our rewired brain. 1. Quarantine 666. This quarantine is a genetic block that forced the soul consciousness to reincarnate over and over again on the 3D Earth plane, and other planets in an appropriate dimensional field, in order to reclaim missing pieces and soul parts, as well as learn how to evolve back into wholeness with the natural laws of God, the law of one. However, along the course of the timelines, the Nabulis took advantage of this quarantine by forcing human soul reincarnation into the control mechanism, the false ascension matrix. This quarantine was originally placed to protect other realms, planets and the human being itself, as such fragmentation created an endangerment to that consciousness. This was a benevolent method to reassemble missing DNA tones and soul parts that had been lost or damaged in the trauma of previous life cycles. Quarantine digressed into mutation curse. This genetic block became a curse for humanity over the last cycle as it was passed down the genetic lines through interbreeding with the Anunnaki, which further digressed human DNA. Anunnaki and Nephilim hybrids became carriers of the genetic block, and because of the disregard of the law of one, natural laws of God, and intended genetic manipulation for human enslavement, this agenda further advanced the DNA distortions. Over time, the distortions manifested splitting between the elemental, physical, body layers, the subconscious mind and lower and higher aspects of the astral identity. Negative form. These schisms generated shadow selves or negative forms, and dark fragments in the astral layers of the soul matrix that further proliferated personal and planetary miasma. The genetic block and removal of these DNA tones created a dual identity in both the 2D and 4D, and is how the shadow self, or negative form and unconscious aspects were first generated in the digressed human DNA. The 2D schism split the instinctual body into separate functions, a collection of fragmented subpersonalities generated from soul memories, and a repository of personal emotional energies and collective chaotic forces. The 4D schism placed a barrier in the nadial capsule that separates the astral body, heart chakra, from merging with the 3D solar plexus mental body. This subjects the person to lower astral energies and lower astral traveling. This blocks the lower body's communication with the elemental kingdoms, making it very hard for the person to feel body consciousness or communication with nature or elemental kingdom. Essentially, it blocks multidimensional awareness and higher sensory perception. Healing these schisms. To heal these schisms and rehabilitate the DNA, a being is required to learn about the law of one and practice the law of one principles, to finally heal and embody the integrated spiritual identity. Once all beings are proficient and accepting of this as the truth as the nature of reality, these genetic blocks, seals, are able to be removed as the person is not an endangerment to themselves or others. The removal of this 666 seal means that the person has achieved a process of planetary ascension, no longer required to reincarnate in the lower creational realms of 3D Earth. This planetary quarantine beginning to lift also means the possibility of more enlightened ET races finally being able to communicate with our planet, as this is a sequential event leading the human race to join in cosmic citizenship, as a potential, peaceful race. This is an opening during this time cycle, to be lifted away from these genetic blockages, miasma, that have impacted all of humanity. There is no judgment, it's understanding our history, and the fact we are incarnated down here means we have taken on the imprint as a part of the human race. If we have not cleared this imprint through our ascension mission, we will have the opportunity to do this DNA healing from this point now and ongoing.
Gribble.